In the last video, I broke down why most service businesses get stuck at 10K per month. If you haven't watched that yet, I strongly recommend you to go back and watch that because it explains the structural ceiling that most businesses get stuck on, which is the effort itself. In this video itself, we are going to be solving the next problem because once you realize effort isn't enough to actually scale your business, then the obvious question becomes, okay, so what do I actually need in order for me to actually scale my business? And this is where most businesses get it wrong and most founders get it wrong. When founders hear the word systems, they picture complicated automations, giant SOP libraries, expensive softwares, or big actual team hires. And that's not what actually builds scale. The best systems that I have seen are really simple. I worked once with an actual consultant doing about 22K per month. He thought he needed more automations, more tools, more funnels, more softwares to actually scale his company. But what he actually needed was just simple 3 checklists, 1 clear dashboard, and weekly review rhythm. That's about it, nothing more. Within 90 days of implementing it inside of his business, nothing changed about his offer, but the stress dropped by at least 77%. His delivery stabilized, revenue stopped swinging from month to month. And because systems are not complex, they're really simple, it helped him to actually scale much faster as well. So in this training, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build simple systems inside of your service business that actually create stability and help you to scale. So by end of this video, so stay to the end, because you're going to learn exactly what needs to happen currently inside of your business so you can unlock that next level growth. Because currently, what I see with most businesses stuck around 10K, maybe 22K, maybe even 30K per month is that all the business is dependent on effort itself. Founder is involved probably 90% of the time inside of the business. So what I want to do and what I want to help you to do into today's video is to help you to understand what needs to go and what needs to be installed inside of your business in order for you to actually scale and unlock the next level growth. Most of the things that you will need are going to be with zero cost involved because they are really simple. You can use spreadsheets. You can also use Google. There's a lot of things you can use, and I'm going to show you this all in today's video. So still to the end, and let's get going. So watch this video till the end because by end of this video, you will learn and understand what systems actually is and what it isn't, and what systems should actually be installed inside of your business. Number 2, the core 4 systems every service business must have. Number 3, how to build simple systems without tech overload, because it's really easy to sometimes overwhelm yourself with too much actual tech that you don't need. Number 4, why systems reduce stress and increase revenue. Number 5, the step-by-step process to implement them inside of your business today. And number 6, tools that will help you without actually overcomplicating, and also really cost-effective tools that you can implement inside of your business without wasting hundreds and probably even thousands of dollars, okay? So what a system really is. A system is simply a repeatable process that produces consistent actual outcomes, okay? That's it. It's not a software, it's not an automation, it's not a dashboard. It's a repeatable process itself. So the reason most of us are currently stuck at $10,000, most of coach consultants, the reason they are stuck at $10,000 is because they don't have repeatable processes currently inside of their business. Every single client is being onboarded differently. Every single client is being fulfilled also differently. With that being said, that is also the main constraint why they can't get past the 10K a month. So this is why you should have the systems inside of your business which helps you to repeat the processes again and again without overloading, without being confused, without being too much into each client's personalization of their actual fulfillment or the results, how you're actually going to get them. How leads are actually being generated consistently inside of your business. So, example, super motivated, super inspired, and you are probably doing all-nighters, you're going to hit 15K a month, okay? Your business, everything is currently being scaled through your actual energy. So your energy is doing is you are scaling chaos. Why do I say chaos? Because an energy that is not repeatable every single month in and month out is not consistent enough for you to actually produce results on how you actually feel, okay? But when you have the right systems inside of your business, everything completely changes. So the first system, like I already mentioned, is demand system. How leads are generated consistently, which means cost per lead. If demand is random, then your revenue will also be random and it will probably go in spikes. So the second system is sales system. Every sales call should follow structure: qualification, problem clarity, cost of inaction, offer alignment, and clear next steps of what it actually looks like to get started. Consultants and agency owners and also live service businesses are free flowing their actual calls. Many times when live clients come to us, I ask them to show me their actual sales script. They have written out 5 questions that they want to base the call around, and that's about it. There is no really finding out deeply the current state. There's only asking like what's happening now, where do you want to be, and what's holding you back from being there. And then it's like kind of walking other couple questions that are not even related to what they do, and then it's kind of closing. Your process should be really scripted, and it should show that you are expert about what you are actually talking about. Then you're finding out the problem, currently the main constraint of why they are actually stuck. Then you go into the desired state. So you ask them of why they cannot get there, because the problem that they currently have is the problem that they're to get the results that they actually want. Okay. Then we need to really understand the next part, which is what they have already tried. Okay. So sometimes they already have tried something. What is then once you have found that out, it's simply aligning your actual process. Okay. Explaining how actual testimonials or some of actual case studies. From there, the next level is really simple, like a system. Okay, and you're not freestyling your conversations, because a lot of times I see a lot of coaches, consultants, and agency owners, they are freestyling their entire sales process, and this is why they have really weak close rates. Next part is the delivery system, right? Simple example: client onboarding checklist, contract signed, invoice paid, assets collected, kickoff scheduled, KPI defined. Simple. Weekly delivery rhythm, Monday review. So it's really clear of how the onboarding happens, when the contract is signed, invoice is paid. It all is this. Case studies, maybe you need to understand their sales process, maybe you need to understand the way of their thinking. Maybe you're a mindset coach, so you understand their exact problem, what's happening. So maybe you need these all assets to be collected up front before you get worked, right? Before you can get into work. So you have that all collected up front. Number 4, kickoff scheduled. Okay, so when is the actual kickoff call? Also, that should be happening in actual one day of that. Like, hey, if you get clients Monday, Tuesday, then you should onboard them Wednesday. If you get them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then you should still onboard them the next Wednesday. Okay, so this is helping you you have it for one day of the week, and so all the clients get onboarded on the same actual day. Okay, so then there is no issue at all. You could do it as a group call, you can maybe do it as a one-on-one call, or maybe voice note, and maybe there could be a form that they could fill in to get the onboarding, the tricks to really finalize of making sure that we are moving in the right direction and we are also achieving our milestones. And then obviously weekly delivery rhythm. Like you review the entire process, you review the execution that you feel like it. It's not a system, it's just chaos. So number 4, feedback systems. Okay, weekly metrics, right? Leads generated, calls booked, close rate, revenue, capacity. Maybe it's the accountability, maybe it's the process itself, maybe it's not really clear what are the next steps. You have to have feedback loops in. Feedback loops help you to improve your actual quality feedback every single week. Without feedback, you are just walking blindly through the streets of Paris, step by step inside of your business. Okay, so let's start with step number 1. Document what you already do. Okay, most founders already have systems, they just live in their head. Document exactly step by step of what you currently are doing. How are you onboarding? What happens after they have paid? What is the next step? Is there a welcome email? After that, all on a piece of paper so you understand what it works. Okay. Step 2, turn recording actions into actual checklists. Maybe before the client is on board, then we need to do all the checklists. Okay, so we go through the checklist. Maybe when they're on board before we can start, there's also a checklist. So have that checklist ready. The reason I'm saying this is because you can give the entire process and you can delegate the entire process to somebody else. Assign ownership, right? Assign who to the kickoff call. Okay. Then step 4, review weekly. How well is it being actually executed? And then step 5, improve gradually. Improve little things, improve speed, improve quality, improve improve also communication, improves like the smoothness of actual the process. It's inside of your head, and let's say you try to delegate it to somebody, they come inside of your business, you can't even explain what the process is because it's already living inside of your mind. You should have it already written out, because when somebody joins, you can just give them the entire process and they can get started. Okay, so a couple examples. Agency owner: before, everything in Slack, no structured reporting, client questions scattered. Okay, I'm just giving you examples of some clients. After, shared dashboards, weekly client update template, and escalation rules as well. The result is happening. Are we launching? Is that being launched? Is the system being launched there? Hey, Robert, I'm looking for that email. Have you sent that email to the client? Hey, what about the follow-ups? What about this? What about this? What about that? And end of the day, everything is just like, oh my God, it's too overwhelming. Like everybody's just hucking me out of like what they need. Because they can see that all on the actual dashboard. And then client questions scattered, right? All of that has to be addressed way before, okay? And this is why, so people can see what the progress, they can see weekly client update templates as well, and escalation rules, okay? So this will not interrupt your workflow as well. It will not interrupt, it will help you to have a deep, your team is messaging, the clients are messaging, hey, what's happening? Your team hasn't replied. Are we on a schedule? Are we gonna miss the deadline? What's happening? The reason I'm sharing this is because many times I had that happen inside of my business, okay? So tools that can actually help you. I want you to keep it simple tools. Some of these tools I actually have a free version of them as well, so you don't need them. And some of them are actually for free already, okay? So tools are really important, but they maybe follow Alex Ramosi or they follow somebody because they don't understand that on the level 100 million, so the softwares for them will be completely different to somebody that's just starting out and doing 10K a month. And so what some are using. But you need to understand the level that the big guy is completely different to the level you are. So you don't need all these crazy softwares and all these angles and all these different tools. You need few tools to make sure there's really a good headspace when you are operating. So you can put it clearly on the paper. So tools that can help you. Some of them, like which one I really like is ClickUp, right? This helps you to track the entire process. You can go with Google Sheets, right? KPI dashboards, Loom for recording trainings, and Slack to structure the actual channels just to make sure it comes in. Somebody can message Slack, but then I have a team member already on the Slack, okay? So everything should be in a dashboard. If there's a question about the dashboard, it should come on the Slack. Not Slack should be tracking absolutely everything. Your projects, deadlines, email sent, templates, sales process, scripts, and everything is being done. It's too much. Avoid getting too many tools, and then eventually you are lost because you need different logins, you need different credentials, you need to a simplicity as much as you can, okay? Why simple wins? Complex systems break, simple systems get actually going to help your business to scale and become sophisticated. A lot of people say, hey, process that is repeatable so many times that it's almost impossible for it to fail because it has been tracked so many times, it has been trained so many times, it has been executed so many times that it's almost like a habit, okay? Organized inside of your business, so you're doing everything and sometimes you're scattered all over the place. So systems to create stability, capacity, right? Systems, what they do for you, they will create stability, capacity, predictability, and confidence. So system on demand is how we, let's go all the way back, is how we bring actual leads inside of the business, okay? So system 2, sales. How do we actually convert that lead incoming into an actual cost of inaction, offer alignment, clear next steps? This is all going inside of your sales script. You should have that, okay? Then we move on to the step 3, delivery, okay? So back to the delivery. So we have delivery system. So client onboarding checklist, right? Contract signed, invoice paid, assets, where that client is. Maybe they paid the invoice, but they haven't sent all the assets to you. And so what you're doing now, your team is going and sending them, hey, have you sent all the assets? And then the client says, yes, and they can tick it off themselves and submit it to you. And then you'll be like, okay, that's all sent. There's the links. All okay, great. Let's move on. Okay. So this will be leads generated, calls booked, close rate, revenue, and capacity. And this also goes to your client. Maybe there's certain data you can collect from your client in order for you to better understand how the fulfillment process is currently working. Data said, you need to build everything simply. Okay, and then you need to improve them. Nothing will happen perfectly at first because most of the coaches, consultants, agency owners that I speak, they want kind of the perfection at the first. You don't get perfect, they get better over time, okay? And that's how service businesses grow without actually burning out. And that's how you as against you, okay? Because your business, you need to ask yourself a question. Is the business currently working with you or against you? Because if you're doing everything inside of your business, you're overloaded, you're overwhelmed, it's working against you. In order for you to fix that channel so I can share more actual information, more content like this so you can actually scale this, losing businesses, failing, trying, spending well over hundreds of thousands of dollars for actual education, reading books, going through mentors, through coaching programs, being burned by different agencies, and you can actually get closer to actually where you actually want, which is scaling your actual business. With that being said, subscribe to your business. You really need clear understanding of how you can scale your business. We offer hands down free diagnostic call where you can jump on, we'll diagnose your systems. We're not selling anything. We don't want to sell anything. Talk about where we can actually help you to go. But we offer you completely free diagnostic call. We help you to understand the systems that need to be installed. We can look at the numbers if they make sense and if your business is the right fit for us and our expertise to help you, okay? So with that being help to get the message out to more business operators. For now, if you have any questions about this topic, you can down below in the comment section, just leave a comment if you want me to answer anything specific. Maybe there's certain content you want me to make, also comment down below.